Hello, my name is Trent Theory, and welcome once again to another South Park episode review. Today I'm going to talk about Season 1, Episode 13, Cartman's Mum is a Dirty Slut. Now, this was the final episode of the first season, and this episode ended on a cliffhanger. The entire episode was about Cartman wanting to know who his father is, but we'll get to that a little later. The episode starts out with Stan, Kyle and Kenny at the bus stop waiting for the bus, and they're wondering where Cartman is because he hasn't been going to school for a couple of days. And then the bus comes and the bus driver starts being a total bitch. She's like, "Hurry up, we're running late." And then Stan says, "Yeah, whatever, you fat ugly bitch." "What did you say?" I said, "Yeah, whatever, you fat ugly bitch." And then she's just like, "Oh, alright then," and drives off. Like, I thought that part was really, really fucking funny. Fucking funny ass. So then the boys wag school to go check up on Cartman, and he's out the back having a tea party with his stuffed animals. Like he's doing their voices and pouring tea for them.
"You're so cool and awesome, Eric. Everybody likes you."
Well, thank you, Patty Pretty Pant. And what do you think about me, Clyde Frog?
"I think you're a big fat piece of crap." Aye.
So then the boys go to Mr. Mackey and they tell him what's going on. Mr. Mackey suggests that the boys get the video camera and secretly record Cartman's tea party, and so that they can show Mr. Mackey the footage so like he can analyze it. So then the boys do that, but then later on they're watching TV with Stan's grandpa, and then Stupidest Home Videos comes on with Bob Saget, and the first place video gets a $10,000 reward. So that's pretty much the B story all summed up. So now we're going to talk about the main story, the A story, like the big story that everyone remembers from this episode. Cartman wanting to know who his father is. He goes to his mum and she recalls the night of the drunken barn dance where she hooked up with this Indian chief. I think his name was like Chief Running Wolf or something like that. So then Cartman thinks he's a Native American, which he calls a naive American. And he dresses up as an Indian and he goes to this guy who he thinks is his father. But then the Indian chief tells Cartman that his mum is what they like to call those who cannot keep legs together. And the chief tells him that the last person that he saw him with was the chef. Then in the flashback, the chef comes in and he's got a big afro and he's new to town, like he just moved there and he wanted to open up his own restaurant. So then Cartman thinks that the chef is his dad, and then he dresses up and starts talking like a black guy. Oh, and meanwhile, the boys is trying to get a go-kart to start. And then Kenny gets to the start and it just flies off and like he fucking goes through the bushes, and then it goes onto the train tracks and Kenny gets hit by a train. And then Cartman goes to the chef's house and the chef sings possibly my favorite chef song. "And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait." So then the chef tells Cartman that Mr. Garrison was the last person that he saw his mum with. And then Cartman goes and confronts Mr. Garrison about it. And then Mr. Garrison says, "Well, who didn't have sex with Mrs. Cartman?" And then it just like pans to everyone in the town, including Jesus and the mayor, and like everyone in town had sex with Cartman's mum. And Happy, like Happy's like, "I didn't." And Mr. Garrison's like, "You don't count, Happy. You don't have any legs." That's pretty cruel that they call him Happy, like because he doesn't have any legs. But then Dr. Mephisto tells Cartman that he could take a DNA test, but it'll cost $3,000. And Cartman's like, "But I don't have $3,000. And Mr. Mephisto's like, "Okay," and he just turns around. It's fucking funny. And then Kyle and Stan tell Cartman that they would give him the $3,000 if they win America's Stupidest Home Videos. And then they watch it, and there's a video of Kenny getting hit by a train on there. And then Cartman's one comes up with the tea party, and Cartman, when he sees his video on television, he's like,
"You get it. I get it. This is cool, you get it."
and his face goes all red, and he's like, but then the boys lose. They come second place to the video of Kenny getting hit by a train, and it was actually Stan's grandpa who took that video, but they still get $3,000 to get the DNA test. So the episode ends with everyone in town at Dr. Mephisto's laboratory, and Mephisto goes through all the possible fathers, which includes like the chef, Mr. Garrison, and the 1991 Denver Broncos. Oh, and he's like, myself, my friend Kevin. But the little monkey guy gets a name in this episode. His name's Kevin. I just love Dr. Mephisto. He's such a great character. I can't believe that they don't use him in episodes anymore because he's just so fucking funny. But then the episode, of course, ends on a cliffhanger. And Trey and Matt, they did something. I don't want to spoil it yet. I'll get to it in the next review. But they did something really, really cheeky, those two. You know, they did something. They fucked with us. They fucked with us big time. Well, anyway, in conclusion, this is a really great episode. It's fucking funny. I would definitely rate it a 5 out of 5. As for the season in general, it's a fucking great season. There is not one bad episode in season 1. My favourite episode of the season is probably Tom's rhinoplasty, because I just really like that episode. My second favourite would be Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, and my third favourite would have to be this one, because I really like this episode here. But anyway, you can subscribe to this channel and like my page on Facebook. My name is Trent Terry. See you next time. Westside.